So my name is Irina Nistor, as you can see in there, and during the 80s, I was living, as I am living now, in Romania of Ceausescu. So in the 80s, especially after the second half of the 80s, it was extremely complicated, our life in there. We had huge queues, bigger than the one we had during the break, to buy anything we could find. We had 1 kilo of sugar, 1 of flour, 1 of oil per month, and 6 eggs. It was a very, very difficult period. And it was difficult also from the point of view of entertainment. So we stayed with just 2 hours of TV per day. And during these 2 hours of TV per day, we had, of course, the news about Ceausescu and his wife, and a little bit of popular music, not the best quality, of course, and some songs for him, long live. Of course, everybody was hoping not to live too long, but he had his parents lived a lot, so we were a little bit afraid of that. And sometimes we got a film. How long could that be if we still had just 2 hours? So even the films were cut. And a good example of American film, for example, that we could see quite often was The Sound of Music. Can you imagine why? No, because it was funny, not because it was with music and it was with a love story. No, but because there were 7 children. So having 7 children, Ceausescu was thinking that like that, everybody is going to have 7 children because it was forbidden any abortion. You are supposed to have 4 children at least in a country that couldn't afford not even your bread. So, being a population with a lot of imagination, among other things, and with a huge love for films, they invented something. They invented to circulate films illegally on the black market, of course, American films that I was dubbing on that time. So I dubbed 3,000. I must tell you that in Romania, we are not dubbing films and we are subtitling them. So I was a necessary evil, that's all, for that period. But that's why people got used to my voice in the meantime, and they thought that my voice is more or less something that brings happiness and especially hope. Of course, people, they could just hear my voice, and it was funny, but somebody said once, you know, you are talking even more than my wife in my house, because they were listening to a lot of films. They are organized in houses like that just to see films. Also, it was quite tricky to see like that, because you could never know when the police could come in your house. Of course, people were interested to know who I was. I was working at the national television on the time. Again, I was also dubbing films in there for the committee just before accepting them to be shown on TV. And I'll show you for 2 minutes how people were thinking about me. So you can see me now, and it's funny to think how tricky a voice can be. This fragment is from a film called Chuck Norris versus Communism, made 2 years ago in 2015 by Ilinca Călugăreanu, a very young film director. And it was shown also in Sundance, and the idea that films can help you in very difficult moments, that probably are thinking also the one from, it seems, North Korea. But let's see a little bit of what was happening on that time, just for 2 minutes.
În această criză de filme pe piața de cinema, dar în același timp la atâta apetit de film al spectatorilor, a apărut VHS-ul, video, cum spuneam noi.
Și era extraordinar să faci ceva ce nu e legal în comunism, adică ce nu e comunist. Să vezi filme imperialiste.
frumusețe era că toate erau traduse de aceeași voce. Filmele în limba engleză, în general, erau traduse de Irina Nistor. Era vocea lui Irina Nistor, voce cunoscută de toată România, dar nu prea știa lumea cum arată fizic.
Kiss me.
Sărută-mă.
Sticky.
Ești tot de picios. Ieși.
Este cea mai cunoscută voce din România după Nicolae Ceausescu.
Facă când dau eu semnalul, da?
All right, now.
Acum. Ușurel.
Eram tare curios să o văd.
Nici nu credeam că are un corp fizic, cumva. Era în planul conștiinței.
Era vocea.
Era The Voice.
You work on commission, right?
Lucrezi pe comision, nu-i așa? Da.
Big mistake.
Mare greșeală.
Huge. Enorm. I have to go shopping now.
Era o entitate. Îmi imaginam uneori că traduce filmele făcând o ciorbă în bucătărie sau în halat de baie. Nu mai auzeau ceva pe acolo.
O femeie brunetă cu părul lung și solidă.
Am avut întotdeauna feeling-ul că este blondă.
Foarte frumoasă, are voce caldă, blândă, are un timbru din ăsta. Eu așa o vedeam așa ca o felină, ca un manechin. Așa o vedeam pe Irina Nistor.
Deosebit de frumoasă, divină, ca un glas venit dintr-un cor al îngeri.
So, as you can see, I'm not a feline, not even a cat, but I like cats. And I can't make any soup. So, and I'm not an entity which is more or less a ghost. Or I am almost, I don't know. So, let's go back to our story. So, people were gathering in houses to see these films. And there were plenty of them, sometimes 20, sometimes 30 in a room, just to see 4, 5, 6, or even 7 films per night. I was dubbing between 6 and 8 films per day when they were coming, and I succeeded just once to dub 10. I adore films, that's why I spent last night in Modernissimo to see 2 films. Yes, of course, I can't live without it. Yes, people were saying that, why don't you give up? Aren't you afraid? And so on that time. Of course, I was a little bit afraid, but not enough to give up, because I like to think that I was courageous enough. And I like to think that if we could be more courageous in difficult moments, I think it will be much better for us all. I'll tell you quickly 2 funny stories. One of them is that once, while they were watching like this film in one night, a policeman, it was called miliziano on that time, so it was less than a policeman, came in and he stopped everything and said, "Let me see what you are watching in there." Of course, they said, "No, but it's simply a film, nothing more, probably with a superhero." You have noticed that the film was called Chuck Norris versus Communism, because we are still hoping for a superhero to help us, even nowadays, I must tell you. Recently, we have a riot, by the way. You have the name of the riot where I've been yesterday. And it was said Chuck Norris as Prime Minister. So we are still thinking to have a superhero as somebody to help us in the meantime. So the policeman came in and he said, "What are you watching?" Of course, they weren't watching, of course, an adult film, because usually on an adult film that I wasn't dubbing, because you don't have anything to dub anyhow, and it was... And usually it seems that it was written on the tape documentary. Yes, it's more or less a documentary, as you could see. And the policeman, he starts seeing what it was on that tape every 10 minutes, like that, rolling the tape and so on. And in the end, he said, the young people in there, the teenager, they said, "You see, there is nothing fishy in there." And the policeman said, "Okay, let me see what is on the other side." Because he thought it's like from audio tape with 2 sides. So that was the Romanian policeman. And I'll tell you one more story quite quickly. During an interview, they asked me if I regret anything in my life, not only this one. And I said, I regret the fact that I don't have children. And they said, for goodness sake, you have thousands of children. And you know why? If in one family there was already a child, and they wish to have a second one, because in our flats of apartment, the walls are very thin, they let the first child in order to co-produce the second one, with one of my films, very loud like that. So I co-produced a lot of children. And so I'm not sorry anymore. And I'll show you quite quickly how it was with censorship in Romania. And it's an actress, Ana Maria Moldovan, playing me in the same film. And you'll listen to what I was supposed to say.
La Zamfir nu trebuia să cenzurez absolut nimic la traducere și, prin urmare, puteam să spun...
Nu cred că mai e mult. Să chemăm un
preot.
Nu ești decât
comunist
un comunist
împuțit.
Fii de aici! O să o rezolvăm noi până la Paște, nu mai e mult. În numele lui Dumnezeu și satană!
Puteam să spun orice sfânt doream.
Sfântă se apropie de noi, ce ne facem? Nu știu dacă o să vină
Moș Crăciun. Era tot o formă de... Mi se părea o formă de libertate și o formă de a le face în ciudă. De a câștiga o bătălie, oricât de mică, după părerea mea, în perioada aia conta.
Nu, n-ar fi tradus niciodată înjurăturile sau tot ce ținea de zona sexuală.
Oamenii jurau într-un fel acolo, iar noi auzeam un Sfinte Sisoie!
Motherfucker, ea zicea, du-te la naiba.
Cuvintele dure din limba engleză erau traduse prin la dracu.
La dracu, da.
Deci asta era traducerea Irinei Nistor. Oricâte porcării și
era și la
ziceau,
era și la naiba.
La dracu sau la naiba.
Fuck you! La dracu.
Fuck you, man. Să te ia naiba, să te ia dracu.
El îi spune, you know what, I realized. I love you, I need you, and damn, I wanna fuck you. Și Irina Nistor traduce, știi, am stat și m-am gândit. Te iubesc, am nevoie de tine și știi ceva? Ia mai du-te dracului!
Pendejo! Fuck you!
Du-te dracului!
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucking
Împulsi, ce poți să fii?
Be silent,
You fat piece of shit!
Să nu-ți văd mutra! Măslănină ce ești! Care-te!
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Niște tâmpiți sunteți cu toții.
You know why?
Și știți de ce?
So, yeah, I know Maria told me yesterday not to stay like that. Yes, she interpreted the fact that I want to got isolated from everybody, that's why. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for having a coach. It was wonderful. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you, Valeria. So, but what I wish to tell you very quickly is that I wasn't translating all these swearing words because we are not swearing in my house and because in the communist prisons they used swearing as a method of terrorizing the anti-communists. So I said, my voice is not going to be the voice of somebody, trying to make somebody, to humiliate somebody. That's the only thing. And something else, in a recent meeting in London, some psychoanalysts, they said that I'm always saying, go to hell, go to hell. I was just saying that to communists, and in the end, they went to hell. More or less, not enough, maybe, but at least it was a certain movement, and they said also that my voice was a voice that one day they got together all the voices and they start shouting, down with communism and down with Ceausescu, which I think it was a very good point of view. And one more thing that I'd like to tell you, it's that a film in need is a friend indeed. Thank you.